Drummer, percussionist, author, composer, songwriter, producer, professional speaker, actor. Rich Redmond has left his mark on thousands of songs, including over 21 number one hits. Over 30 years of been there, done that, wisdom and knowledge in the Nashville music business. This is Pick Rich's Brain.
What's up, everybody? Rich Redmond here, episode 19 of Pick Rich's Brain, the podcast where we talk about all things music, motivation, and success. And I'm so thrilled to have my guest, friend, and business partner, Mr. Mike Krompass with me.
Buddy.
What's up,
Thanks
buddy?
for having me.
Of course, man. Episode 19.
Watch that. You might hurt yourself.
Watch that. We are here where I do a lot of drum tracking for our records that we produce in your studio, 1225 Entertainment, 1225 Label Group. This is where we track all the projects for artists that we're producing, developing, writing with.
It's where the magic happens.
I know. How long and we're in suburban Murfreesboro.
We're in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. You know what's so funny is that does Uber and Lyft come out here?
Yeah.
Okay, but most
it's $1 million.
Most of the food delivery services they do not come here yet. And then the other night we were like writing songs with this awesome band Honeymoon Suite that we're producing, right? And we wanted to like get some booze delivered. We were feeling kind of boozy.
Yep,
and
not going to happen.
They're not coming out here, man.
It's not happening.
It's just not.
You might be able to
happening.
get a farmer in like a tractor or something. He might go give him $50. He might go get something.
A big green tractor?
Maybe.
And what was that little convenience store that's like from the 1960s? We went there one day and it was like a scene out of a movie, but they had the most amazing breakfast biscuits.
Yeah, it's like $2 breakfast.
And it's like
3 eggs and bacon and toast.
And it just
$2.
tastes.
And a coffee.
It was amazing.
And it's some little mom and pop thing around the corner from here.
It was so good. It was really good. And so, but here we are in suburbia, and you got a great deal on this house that's probably doubled in value. It's good for you.
I hope so. Yeah.
The Murfreesboro is the new, I don't know. What would it be like in Hollywood? Is it the new
Spring Hill?
It is the new Spring Hill. Yeah, totally. So as guys, as always, we have my muse, my Andy Richter type character behind the camera there. Come on. Jim McCarthy, voiceovers.com. Jim came into my life, 10, 12, 15 years ago? I know we've been friends forever. Yeah, so Jim's going to be fielding our questions. He's going to making sure, he's my producer, we're making sure everything is happening. So, we want to talk about all the things we have going on, but I feel like I see you every day. I feel like I talk to you every day. We're always working on something, but how long have we freaking known each other? It feels like a decade, but it's like a year.
Maybe a year and a half now.
Maybe a year and a half. And then we were Facebook friends, and we had it like on kind of like this to-do list where it's like we had a million mutual friends, and we knew we wanted to meet each other in the flesh and work together. But it happened like most things happen in life. A girl.
Oh.
It was Zandy.
No, it wasn't that.
It was Zandy,
yeah,
right?
It was.
So our buddy Zandy Hollop, singer-songwriter. I have written songs with her. You had written songs with her. She called me up and she said, "That's this song that we wrote. I'm having it fully produced by this guy Mike Krompass, and you guys haven't met. And you should come play drums on the song that you co-wrote with me." So I come here. I play drums. And
you rocked it. And then you killed it.
What happened? It was like a total like man crush Monday, right? It was
we just hit it off, and he played the one song. I'm like, why don't you just play the rest of them? I don't have to do it now.
But the funny thing is that you're a world class. Essentially, you're a world class drummer. I mean, you hit the hell out of those things.
Rich Redmond said I'm a world class drummer.
You've got groove. You've got fire. You've got hands, and it's second instrument for you. It's maybe even a third instrument for you because you play. Really, you're a world class guitar player, but then you can pick up the bass, a slap of the bass, You've been producing records for a long, long time. Who are some of the people that you've produced over the years?
Wow. Kind of, it goes all over the place, but I've worked with people like Nelly Furtado, Meghan Trainor, Kelsey Ballerini, Natasha Bedingfield, a lot of American Idols. I did David Archuleta back in the day. Mm-hmm. A lot of film and TV stuff.
Right.
Some rock bands from Canada.
Right.
Just kind of all over the map. Some hip-hop stuff, but yeah.
What was the big hip-hop thing that caused it was like a big craze, and like Miley Cyrus did the first twerk to it?
It was a kid named J Dash who's amazingly talented, and the song was called WAP. And
is it about my
there was a
people?
dance. No, it's not a racist WAP, but it was a dance craze. And I think Miley, she twerked in a unicorn outfit to it, and it was like a little black and white video that she got all down and shook her butt and blew it up. And then Ryan Seacrest tweeted about it, and before you knew it, we had a platinum record from a little tiny,
and that's amazing
video.
And how long did it take to produce that track? It was like fast.
It was fast. Maybe, I mean, counting the vocal, maybe a couple hours total. But the track was done in like 15-20 minutes. The programming of it. And there's 2 versions of it. So
it's just crazy to watch your skill set, to see you in front of all those crazy, colorful waveforms, and you're like manipulating the Akai pad and the trackball, and you're just like picking up guitars and layering guitars. Then you're like, all right, mic me up, we're going to rock this acoustic. And then you're like, go down and add some tambourine, and you just edit it. It's all done. I mean, it's like,
you make it sound so eloquent.
It's an amazing skill set. The thing is that, that I had a production company called New Voice Entertainment for around 7 years, and we produced 3 #1 songs, and it was the first, basically rhythm section in Nashville that was a production company, a successful production company. So that was really fun. What I have learned over the years is there's a lot of skill sets that, I mean, it's impossible to do everything and do everything incredibly well. So I figured I have my things that I do really, really well, and I just try to surround myself with like-minded people who have skills that are things that I don't have. And so how quickly did we create 1225 Entertainment? It was like fast, right?
The next day
we did an LLC and started our company, right?
Yeah, well, it wasn't quite that fast, but I think within a week we're like, hey, let's do this and maybe take on some acts and develop them and turn it into something. And before you knew it, we had a record label, and now we have distribution with Sony The Orchard, and now we're signing acts and developing them and trying to be players in the record business.
Yeah, we're looking for our next Taylor Swift and our next Jason Aldean, and I'm sure they're out there.
And we have our own band.
Yeah, we have our own band called The Fell. And our fans are called The Fallen. And what's great is that I'm the 3rd drummer in the band, right? So it started with you, and then it went to Randy Cook, right?
Well, yeah, but I played on stuff, but Randy was the first drummer.
Right, so I'm really just the 2nd drummer.
You're just the 2nd drummer.
And so we have around 15 songs in the can, and you're finishing up vocals while mixing. Right?
Yeah, doing some overdubs, some guitars left to do, a lot of mixes. Ugh.
And so the band is you, me, Scott Westerveld, who's over there lurking in the shadows. We've got
Billy Sheehan on bass.
Billy Sheehan, everyone knows Billy Sheehan from 30 Years of Mr. Big. That really famous tour with David Lee Roth, the Eat 'Em and Smile tour, a band called Talus. All those cool side projects like Niacin and
Winery Dogs, the Sons of Apollo, and every other rock band that's on the planet.
Yeah, and so it was such a thrill to play with him. We actually haven't played in the same room at the same time yet, because when we recorded separately.
Yep.
And then
we did a video though where we mimed.
We did a video. We did a video for our first single that's coming out. It's dropping globally June 14th, called "Dancing on a Glass Floor."
Yes.
And I got to play silent stroke heads and 2 cymbals that were glued together, the video setup.
But it looked great.
We got way closer to actually playing together. So we're probably going to be going into rehearsals at some point here, maybe mid-April. And then we're looking to possibly do a 2-week kickoff tour, July 1 through 17, right?
Is that it? Yeah.
July 1 through 17. We're looking at doing that. And then we're also trying to find a cool venue for our album release party. Single release party. And you were telling me about the lifespan of rock singles. Like, we're going to drop this thing June 14th, and then it might take 5 months for that thing for us to work that single?
I mean, we'll see. I mean, it depends on the markets we're going to work in. I think we're releasing in 263 countries. Isn't that many countries? Wow. 263 countries.
263 countries, and that's Michael Cruz. That's our partner, our assistant, or he's a man that answers to many titles and many
manager.
names. He's our label manager. Yeah.
Model, actor, dancer, singist.
I thought I was the model.
That's for different things.
Jim McCarthy.
That's a separate company. That's
Yes.
a film company. That's
Jim McCarthy Voiceovers.com. So that's terribly exciting. So yeah, well, June 14th, it's being released in 263 countries through Sony Orchard.
And our label, 12.
And our
label group.
Our label is the 1225 Label Group. And you can follow us on Instagram, right? 1225 Label Group?
Yep.
1225 Label Group. And also the Fell on
at the Fell Music.
Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, I believe. So we're building that. So follow us, folks. Be a part of the Fallen. We're so excited.
Follow with us.
We're so excited about that. And so now I'm looking back at my year, and we're doing taxes, and I'm thinking about like what other acts do we work with? We produced an act for Philip Michael Parsons, right?
Yep, we did a song for him,
right? And then we did a 10-song record for
Michael Austin,
an artist named Michael Austin, who's kind of like another country rocker from Southern California.
Mm-hmm.
And who else kind of fell on? Who else are we missing?
Well, we're doing Honeymoon Suite.
Okay, so Honeymoon Suite. You being Canadian. Tell everyone about Honeymoon Suite and their history.
They're just legends.
They are. They've been around for
35 years.
35 years.
A lot.
Yeah.
I was a little kid, 8 years old, learning Honeymoon Suite songs at my cottage, sitting in my bathing suit with a little red guitar, trying to learn dairy solos, and now we're producing them.
That's
It's
right.
a lot of fun.
You reap what you sow. It is crazy. And I remember hearing that song, New Girl Now, on MTV, because we're a little bit different in age, but I mean, I think MTV the year was, let's see, it would have been like 8th grade
Wasn't
for
it
me.
82 or something?
It was like 82.
I was born in 77.
82, 83. So yeah, I was pubescent.
I was diapers, maybe.
I was pubes.
Still.
I know. I had pubes. That's what my mom gave me. My mom and dad gave me that book.
Now they're just gray.
Ouch! I don't know if they're gray. I haven't seen them.
I would imagine.
yeah.
I would imagine.
Anyways, we do have fun. We do have fun on Pick Rich's Brain. We do. We have fun. So they're going to be here tomorrow for another week, and we're probably going to crank out a 15-song project for them as well, right? And then, is it a big secret that we might be re-recording some of their master catalog too?
Not anymore. I think we might do a couple of the hits and re-release those. Maybe use those for the new placements. Mm-hmm. Definitely a new single. I don't know how much they want us talking about it right now, but that's the plan.
Yeah, we'll stop there. And then, you were talking about all the stuff you did for TV and film. I think you've had over 500 placements for TV and film. So things like the Steve Harvey Show, Ellen, TMZ.
The Bachelor, Bachelorette, Celebrity Justice, Slam Ball, TMZ stuff. Oh, man.
And then, so who are some of these songwriters? Weren't you writing with, name some of these famous songwriters you were
for that stuff? I wrote a lot of that stuff with a guy named Robbie Neville.
Right.
Do you remember C'est La Vie?
Yeah, that from C'est La Vie.
Yeah.
And I met Robbie in 2000 because I was like the house drummer for this Warner Chappell songwriting camp. And so all the songs that they were cranking out every day, I was part of the band, and we would like bring these demos to life. And we tried to keep in pretty good touch. And then here we are.
And then you wrote a song with him.
And then we wrote a song together with Zandy.
For Sandy.
Yeah.
That we didn't cut with her.
So much to do.
A little black guy in there again.
Do I have
Here.
Oh, yeah. We have Mexican food.
Let's fix this.
Is this good?
Let's fix it.
That's good. I can gargle here.
Business cards. Here. Let's check it out. It's gone.
Yeah.
Wow.
That always does the trick. Thank you, Kroger knockoff seltzer water. When you can't afford LaCroix, you get this.
Go with Crozier.
Yeah, right.
LaCrozier.
But I mean, who's the big writer that is working with Barbra Streisand now, but did all the Bon Jovi stuff?
Desmond Child.
So you wrote along songs with him.
Wrote some songs with Desmond. Developed a project with him. Matthew Gerard. Brett James. Cat Gravitt. Mm-hmm. Jim McCormick. A lot of different.
I know. I mean, at this
He's
point,
cracking up over there. I want to see some.
Oh, the comments are funny.
Yeah, someone said, "Oh dear God, talking about your pubes." TMI.
What pubes?
Oh yeah,
Curse.
he waxes. I heard a rumor.
There's nothing wrong.
Thank you. Let you manscape.
There's nothing wrong with waxing.
Does that hurt up there? Like in the?
You do the armpits too?
Not the armpits. I just
like the.
so bad.
Does that hurt?
Come on. Now it's getting out of hand, guys. Now it's getting out of hand. So we kind of went backwards. So we're talking about all the things that are happening.
Isn't this pick Rich's brain?
Well,
Kind of like,
Yeah, let's pick his brain.
yeah, you can pick my brain, but that's what happens with the questions. People want to know what's happening as a result of what we're talking about.
Okay,
right, and they're going to be able to pick our brain. We kind of went backwards. We started with all the cool things that we have going. The label, the fell, the production company, this cool studio that we have here, this cool connection that we have, musically and friendship-wise. We went to London in November. That was really fun.
That was fun.
Super fun. Mind the Gap.
Mind the Gap.
That was super fun. We drank a lot of beer in 600-year-old pubs.
Which was super fun.
I know. It's so super, super cool. But let's go back. Tell everyone, where you're from, your family background, when you started playing guitar, who some of your first influences were.
Wow. Okay. So I'm from Toronto, Canada.
Mm-hmm.
I left Toronto probably when I was about 22 to move to LA, and then kind of did the transition over to here eventually. So I think I did 17 years in LA, and then I started the back and forth to Nashville after I got sick of it.
Yeah.
So influences, Steve Lukather, Van Halen, old funk, anything old and funky is kind of an influence. Beatles for songwriting. Basically any music that doesn't suck. Remember we did our list of bands that we in common.
There's a lot of we have a list
like our test.
Yeah, we have a list of people that we really like, and then a list of very, very famous bands that everybody seems to love, but for some reason we just think they're overrated. We're not going to go into that list, but we share the exact list.
It was exactly the same.
Exactly the same list. It's what's the big deal about? What's the big deal about that band? Okay, so what were you playing all the time? Were your parents dropping you off at gigs before you could drive?
Yeah, my mom was super supportive. So we used to have band practice in the basement, and my dad didn't like it too much, but we'd have band practice in the basement, and she was supportive. She bought my first electric guitar, and I was playing bars when I was 8 years old.
That's really young. I started playing
with the 40-year-olds.
Yeah.
Doing cover gigs. Whatever I could kind of be involved in music, I did. So it didn't matter what it was. I worked in a music store. I taught guitar lessons.
You worked in a drum shop, right?
I worked in a drum shop. Yeah. And anything that I could do that involved music, I just wanted to absorb myself in. So
that path for you was very practical. You were playing at such a young age. You were soaking up all this cool stuff from the masters, practicing a lot, gigging. College wasn't you're like, I'm not going to do that.
No, I was touring, so I didn't go to college.
So when did you start touring?
I think I was doing tour dates when I was 13 years old.
Yeah.
So
you were a pro. You were already living the life of your dreams.
Yeah. I was broke, but yeah I was.
But no one ever said, "Hey, Mike, you might think about having a backup plan."
Everyone said that. My grandparents, the only one who didn't say it was my mother.
She just said she knew that you were going to do it.
You just do what makes you happy, and I think she knew. I think she knew when I started playing when I was 4, so she knew at a super young age that there's no way I'm going to give it up, and so either support it or kick me out of the house, and I think that she chose to support it. And then I just kind of threw myself into every opportunity I could. I worked in recording studios as the coffee guy. I worked every kind of job, guitar teching, just went to see everything I could, played in different style bands so I could expand my vocabulary. I played drums to help me with my rhythmical elements in my guitar playing. So drums was never my first thing, but it was fun for me. But
you're such a convincing drummer. And the funny thing is that, stylistically, sometimes I can't tell a difference if it's me or you. I don't know.
It's just because I'm copying you.
We
have a lot of similarities, I think, in the way we play, and I think we both believe in that hit hard thing, and you play like you mean it, and play for the song, and
open the drum up, and
and just play dynamically and just energy. I'm not a super technically proficient drummer.
But you have a lot of this, like the little buzzes and the little ghost notes. I mean, you have control over some of that really deep stuff that I've got students I've had forever, and even professional players I know that don't have that control over their technique. So for you to be a guitar player that can just go and then get on the drums and have all that depth, it's pretty impressive.
That's Randy Cook's fault. That's from playing it with bands with Randy since I've been 13 years
amazing.
old.
So yeah, for the listeners, they don't know that Randy Cook is a world-class drummer based in Los Angeles. He's been there. He moved from Toronto, right, for like maybe 15 years ago.
Yeah,
something like that.
A couple years after I did.
And so who were some of the people he's played with? Five for Fighting, Smash
Mouth, Dave Stewart from the Eurythmics. Nice.
He played with Ringo, didn't he?
He's been on Kelly Clarkson records, Atlantis. He played in the Ringo Starr All-Star Band.
That's right.
He's a busy cat.
And he's just a cut-up and a
he's
nut.
Hilarious. He's crazy.
He could do stand-up comedy.
He could
totally do it.
He could.
But that doesn't...
He could be a male model, too.
Randy Cook.
Male model drummer.
We love it. And so tell us something about this missing gap of your life that I don't know you from. That 17 years in LA. Like, where were you living? What was your clique? What things were you doing predominantly? Were you touring? Because I know you toured with Smash Mouth. Yeah. On and off many years.
Yeah, it was a few years with Smash Mouth. When I first moved to LA, my focus wasn't playing. So I would play with the occasional band here and there, do one-off shows or fly in, fly out dates. But the focus for me was I wanted to really get into producing records and writing. So my first thing, because I was so broke when I moved there,
you're 22.
Do film and TV stuff. So I just kind of put everything I could into that because it was quick money. I could do 10 songs a day in queues and just play everything and do it super quick and deliver them. And I didn't get much money. I think I got $50 a queue, but the residuals on those, so they paid poop for the masters.
They paid poop up front.
Poop up front.
But then you would license them.
Well, so the company that I worked for was a company called Telepictures back in the day. And what they would do is they would take this volume of stuff and they would only play $50 a queue. And some were vocal, some were instrumentals. They were all different kinds of things. And I would just load them up with different styles of things. So I'd do a funk thing, and then an R&B thing, and then a jazz, fusion-y kind of thing. Or they would have briefs, like, we need something up-tempo, rock drums, rock guitars, but hip-hop drums, or, just weird hybrid things.
They would describe it, and you would deliver it.
So I would just throw things together, and they seemed to like everything I did, and it was quick money. So I found that I could do maybe 10 songs a day. Upfront money was nothing, so I'd make a few $100s a week or whatever doing that, and then the residuals would start to come in. I'm like, whoa, these are pretty good. And then there's some of the placements I started getting. So when Michael Jackson passed away, they had this high demand for Jackson cues, and I had delivered a couple years before this library called Jackson's Ranch or something, and they were all like Michael Jackson ripoff things.
Jackson's Ranch?
Yeah, it's like, I don't know why I called it that.
With Neverland Ranch.
It's just bad timing right now, but they were like little funky Prince-ish things and Michael Jackson funk guitars and drum things like that, and I just gave him a handful, and when he passed away, they played the shit out of all that stuff. Nice. So, sadly he passed away, but I got a ton of residuals that kept paying on all those placements. And then when you get themes, so some things went to CNN, some things, I think I had a Tyra Banks theme song, and those things pay more, and so those things will double and triple, and those royalties never stop because it just sits in a library and someone searches keywords, up-tempo
metadata,
rock,
right?
Dance, and then these cues, and they'll just listen through and go, I'll pick that one. So that's what I focused on, just doing that. But I found after a couple years of doing that, I was missing the interaction of producing an act and developing
with people,
bands,
other people in the room.
Yeah, and writing songs to be songs rather than this, manufactured thing.
Yeah.
So I just started getting back into record production and pop acts, and
your chops were sharp because of having to work so quickly.
Yeah, so I think that was super helpful in getting me faster on Pro Tools and making, I could get songs out. I could do produce a song, and by the end of the day, you
Yeah,
have
for
a
you,
master.
it's like an instrument. It's like Pro Tools is like another instrument. You are so quick and so fast at it. Just the time in the trenches, you know.
It's a lot of sitting on your butt.
It's a lot of sitting. I mean,
A
it's
lot
like,
of it.
I don't
You just
think
get so fat. You just get.
you got to get up and
You just
stretch.
get so fat.
Like just sitting down in front of the computer all day.
Yeah, but
And so for 17, that was the focus. 17 years there.
yeah, I mean, I started. I would say the first 5 years was hardcore focus on that, or any way I could make money to support myself living in LA, because as we know, it's 100 times more expensive to live in LA than anywhere else in the world, besides New York. But so that was kind of my, okay, let's get into it. Then I can use that money to buy gear and live in a nicer place and get a car and like get set up. As I was dirt poor when I moved to LA. And then you start meeting people. It's just like, you know, when you first moved to Nashville, I'm sure you
I was
just
dead broke,
start
too.
getting in the circle, and people start seeing you, and you produce a couple songs for someone, and then all of a sudden it's like you produce a song and you're getting $200, and next thing you know, someone's giving you $10,000 for a master, and then $30,000 of label comes in, and then you're like, whoa, shit, this could be a real job.
Yeah, at one point you were up to $30,000 a track, right?
Yeah, that's when pop paid.
Right. Yeah.
But yes, I mean, sometimes you do these projects, and the American Idol records were nice budgets.
Right.
And lucky for me, they're all in budgets. So, you know, a lot of guys will have to farm out stuff, keys, drums, all that stuff. So I would be able to absorb most of that budget myself by just playing. That's why I played everything on. It wasn't that I didn't want to hire you, Randy.
Yeah, you had a higher profit margin because of your skill set.
Yeah.
Lower overhead.
Yeah, no overhead. I mean, really, it was just gear. So
Yeah, even for like me, like I know I have a lot of buddies who are, every drummer in the world now is set up with some sort of a studio thing where their drums are all mic'd up and they can pull different snare drums up and they've got their templates and they're really dialed in with their sounds. And I have a bunch of friends who are like, they just love it. They love being able to play drums in their pajamas. They don't have to go anywhere. They're just studio rats. The thing with me is the walls close in on me, man. I love the interaction of other people. Mm-hmm. So, I have my place, Crash Studio across town, and Johnny comes in and engineers for me because someone might be like, hey, we got to do 10 tracks today or over the next 2 days. And so for me to do all the engineering and file management and all that stuff is like,
it's a full-time job just doing that.
Would be mind numbing. So I would always work with Johnny. And then, now that you and I are partners, like we've already done projects where someone could either come in here physically and spend the day with us, and they can kind of co-produce the tracks, and I'm knocking out drum tracks for them, or they could just send us the files. We've done that as well.
And it's sit back and done.
This room sounds amazing. The ceilings are high enough. You got everything locked in. Beautiful microphones going straight upstairs into Pro Tools. Going into some of our BAE gear that our buddy Colin hooked us up with.
Yeah.
If you guys are into some world class preamps, so check out BAE. And so yeah, if you like my drum sounds, that's what's happening.
Yes.
Love it.
Rich's drum sounds are through BAE gear.
Oh my God. John does, Mike does a really pretty good impersonation of me.
Just do you happy. Just to be normal you answering the phone. Let me do it, actually.
Yeah, do the one where I'm just like having a bad day.
This is Rich at the label office. Man, okay, this is pre-phone. Guys, man, just today sucks, man. I'm just like, tired. Okay, I gotta make a call. Hey guys, Rich! I'm coming into town to do a clinic. I'm so stoked. Got DW, Sabian, everything's gonna... it's gonna be amazing. All right, talk to you later. Oh man, I need a coffee.
That's so true.
Hey man, phone shops, the funny thing is the way you answer the phone is so important, because it sets the whole tone for the conversation. It's like if somebody, hello?
That's me. That's me.
You're like, hey man.
You've critiqued me on that lately.
You're like, hello?
Hi, this is Jim.
Unless you're in a really, really bad mood and Rich is super happy. It's like, hey man, like your dog just died. Hey man. Rich is like, hey, how's it going? Why are you so damn happy, man?
A happy drummer.
Oh
no, but it's great. It's infectious. That's why we're good together. Because I'm always like,
it's the yin and yang.
Quiet, and he's like on stun 24/7.
Oil and water, man. So that's do you ever miss LA, man? Because I'm going out there all the time. I love it so much. Oh my God.
Not a lot.
No.
I like the weather.
Yeah.
I like going to visit maybe for a week, work on something, and come back. I like Orange County. Still like Orange County.
Yeah.
But no, I don't really miss the traffic. Although the 24 is looking pretty horrendous lately.
The 24. I love that's always when you know someone's from California.
It's like the 405.
It's really bad. The 20.
Well, what do you guys call it here?
Just 20. Just 24. Highway 24, right? 24 East.
24, 65.
Yeah, they just call them the numbers.
if you're going, hey, Rich, I'm going 24. I'm going to take 24.
I'm on
Take the
24.
interstate.
Wow.
I'm on 24, but
Freeway out in California, interstate here, and highway up in the north.
yeah, but in California it's just like I'm going to take the 10 over to the airport.
And in Vegas, it was like
The
not 215, but 15.
yeah. Well, man, it's an amazing story. And are you you're in your early 40s. I'm in my late 40s. There's still a lot of things that you want to do, right?
So many things.
I mean, you pick up a guitar and you just shred. The thing is you are so at one with your instrument. I mean, it's like literally every time I see you, when I come over here, you have your instrument in your hand. You shred around the clock. You are always playing something.
I need to do it more. But
You are always practicing. You're always working on your tone. You're always working on something, overdubbing something. You just love it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Sometimes I feel guilty. It's like I've been playing for so long. I've been playing for 42 years. God, do I have that kind of love for my instrument?
Of course you do.
I don't always have the sticks in my hands like you, walking around playing paradiddles on the walls.
Yeah, but you're so busy that you are doing that. You have 10 million sessions a day, and you're playing all day. So, we do the same thing.
We do play a lot.
You play a lot.
Yeah. We're always working.
On clinics and all that stuff you do.
I'm very tired.
You're tired.
I'm tired.
Where did you learn your business?
My business.
You're actually
chops.
You're actually a great businessman, and that's the one thing that makes me really excited about being in business with you as a band member and as a label owner and as a production company owner with you is that you are a fantastic businessman. And another thing, you know the legalities of the music business, publishing inside and out. You worked in A&R, right? So these are things that you really have to know or you're going to get taken advantage of. But just your hustle and your over preparedness and all those things, just business chops, man, that some people have and some people don't.
Well, I mean, our business is one of the shadiest businesses out there. The entertainment industry is pretty shady, and there's a lot of bad characters. So I think one of the reasons why I got better at it is because I had so many screw arounds when I was younger. People would hire you for productions. Oh, do this on spec. Do that. I'll get you on the back end. And even labels don't pay.
No more spec. Well, so we don't use that word.
Yeah, no. I mean, and it could be the opposite too. I mean, people can be pissed off at you if you're too businessy. So you have to watch that. And I'm guilty of that, sometimes being too aggressive with business. But I always want a contract signed before we even start working, and then before we deliver those masters, we want it all wrapped up.
It just gets all the housekeeping out of the way. Get that out of the way. Everyone's protected. Everyone knows where they stand, what their responsibilities are, what the statement of work is, and then you can get on to just having an enjoyable experience creatively together. And I've been burned many times, but I feel very comfortable. And this situation is that we're both very. We have a business acumen, which is good. It's a very comfortable place to be in. So thank you, Mike, for being a good thank you for being a good business person. So what else? You got some other projects and your endorsements, some other things you want to promote. We talked about the band, we talked about the label, we talked about we're writing songs together. So we're out there constantly looking for talent. We're writing the songs with the talent. We're producing the album for the talent, and if it's a good fit,
we could put it out on our label.
We could put it on our label with the distribution through the Sony Orchard, which is an incredible. And not everybody's going to be right for that. I mean, let's face it, we do produce a lot of acts that are fantastic, and we deliver them a high quality product that's radio ready. They take that, they sell it out at their shows. They sell it off of their website with some merchandise, and it keeps the lights on, and it's a great way for them to promote their business. But maybe they're not at the level to necessarily be on the label. And
some things are development things. So sometimes we assist in that and kind of getting it ready for that next step and turning up the heat a little bit. I mean, and some people aren't ready to get out there yet, and they're not ready for release. But maybe after we help them get there, then it's ready. But it's all too, if it's a hit or if it's connecting to their demographic, or there's some people that just do self-indulgent music that probably wouldn't be right for the vehicle that we have, but might be great somewhere else. So,
right.
But we do have this vehicle to get our artists out there, and if you want to record with us, that's always an option. We can take it.
What's that email address for people to get in touch with us?
Benji? Yeah, Benji at 1225labelgroup.com.
Benji at 1225labelgroup.
BENJY at 1225labelgroup.com. And that's what happens when you have Benji, also known as Michael Cruz, who's got our back, and he's fielding the emails and managing the label. Oh, thank you, Benji. And what's really funny is we were talking about the Fell, and I don't want to get in trouble with our lead singer, Stephen Vickers. We were talking about Billy Sheehan. We forgot about the lead singer of the band, Stephen Vickers. So we've got Stephen, we've got Scott, we've got you, we've got me, and we've got Billy. And we're a one for all for one band, modern rock band with some pop overtones. At least the first single is very pop.
Super pop.
And then the video, we went after kind of a 1975...
retro-y, fluorescent
the
colors.
The 80s are back, man.
80s are so back.
I cannot believe it.
Did you see today? I saw someone post the top charts was like Queen and Motley Crue. And it made me so happy to see
the top charts?
iTunes charts.
Oh.
Queen and Motley Crue, and I got so happy to see that, probably because of the movies. But it's nice to see rock. It's like, thanks, Motley Crue.
I saw the dirt. I read the book, and then I was thinking to myself, wow, how is Netflix going to take this book and compress this, history of this band into a 90 minute to 2 hour thing? And it was very enjoyable.
A lot of girls to edit out.
It was campy. It was campy. It was cheesy, but it was delightfully cheesy. And the band, was they were all executive producers, and they actually coached all the actors. And the funny thing is, the actors were all British and Scottish actors.
Oh, really?
And they're like, they're like Game of Thrones level quality thespians, right? And here they're like, Vince, man, check that chick out. You know what I mean? It was really funny to me to know that's a British actor doing a Southern California rock dude. I really enjoyed it, so I recommend it.
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah. So what are some other things that you want to, just...
It's not a family movie.
Yeah, it's not family friendly. Did you put the kids to bed, right, Jim?
Put your wife to bed, too.
Afterwards.
Well, that's the golden age. I don't think we're never going to see that again.
Never say never.
Never say never.
Never say never.
That stuff still happens.
Comes full circle.
Well, the funny thing is that the Viper Room is going to be bulldozed for a high rise. It's already been sold off.
The new Sunset Strip might be in Nashville.
Where?
I don't know yet.
Division Street by my condo.
He hopes.
Winners, losers, Soulshine Pizza, Rebar. That's going to turn into a strip. I don't know.
It could be over where Soho House is going by the office.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, nobody ever said Seattle would be what it was.
Nobody ever would have thought that.
Yeah. You just never know. It makes me think of Malcolm Gladwell, all of his books, Outliers, and he talks about, the tipping point. It's like, how does a fashion and a fad become a fad? Like, someone has to start it and then has to be caught on by the right people.
More important question, how does it become a trend?
How does it become a trend?
Fads are flash in the pan.
A trend. You're right. And I ran into Malcolm Gladwell at Cicconi's in West Hollywood, and I was starstruck. I wanted to buy him a glass of wine, and I figured, no, don't do it, dude. Just be cool. He's like my favorite author.
Who else were you starstruck? Someone else.
Who does starstruck?
I don't get starstruck, but I mean, sometimes when you see like,
you had a major you were starstruck. The dude from Walking Dead, we hung out with him.
Oh, Mike,
the guy with the handlebar things.
Yeah,
we hung out with him one night, and Rich was like this the whole night.
No.
Yeah, no. He wanted to stand beside him, like.
I took a picture with him. And then after that, after that, I went back and watched all the Band of Brothers, and I watched all of the. I
actually watched Walking Dead because I didn't know who he was.
He was
Rich
on
is like,
Southland.
what do you mean you don't know who he is? So I had to watch everything.
And now he's on a sitcom on, I think, ABC, just like right down the middle.
What's his name? Michael someone?
I would need to know
What's
that.
his last name?
Somebody IMDb.
You had a man crush on him. You should know his name.
It's just the fact when you see somebody in your living room on your television, and then there they are standing and having a cocktail with you at the Red Door, your bar of choice for the last 15 years. It was pretty surreal.
Yeah.
Michael, how come? I mean, Yeah.
Michael Cutlets.
Cutlets.
Michael
that's
Cutlets.
It. That's it.
I loved it. I think my favorite was him in Southland, though. Just that he played
I haven't seen that.
a really cool cop, and the trials and tribulations of living in Southern California.
Who would starstrike you? Who would you get?
Stevie Wonder, maybe a little bit.
He almost came in.
I've seen him a couple times at NAMM. I've been right beside him. I've never sat down and talked to him, but maybe Stevie Wonder. I got to play with Elton John, and I initially wasn't starstruck. I was like 23 years old, and when I asked for him on my wedge, then I was like, holy crap.
Can I get more of Elton?
Yeah, so I was playing, and we were doing this thing for the Academy Awards. He hosts this AIDS benefit show, so sound checking and playing, and then I just go, can I get some more Elton in my wedge? And then I was just like, holy,
wow.
I just asked for Elton John in my monitor. So I had to get off the stage and call my mom right after sound check, and like, Mom, guess who I'm playing with? Elton John. So cool.
Oh, that's nice, honey. Make sure you take your vitamins.
No, my mom was super stoked.
It's so funny. Our parents, man, they just at this point they're just like, oh yeah, it's.
You did get starstruck. I mean, you're playing with Garth Brooks.
Yeah,
that's pretty huge. That's very notable.
Not country stars. I mean, the thing that I just realized is that we're all just kind of here living in Nashville. We're in this industry. Everyone poops and pays taxes. You know what I mean?
I don't poop, man.
It's like so cool.
See,
but it is cool to be in this. It's cool industry. You know what I mean? And like, you don't poop?
I don't poop, man.
I can't believe we're talking about these things. I really can't.
No one knows. Like, I have to go hide. I go hide in somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh, I go hide away. Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's nowhere. You only have 2 bathrooms in this house.
No, I got 3.
Do you go up to the one in the studio up there?
Oh yeah, I just hide.
Oh my god! Hey, so what do we have? Any questions in question land there? Jim McCarthy, voiceovers.com.
Tori Dent McDonald.
We can always rely on Tori to tune in. Hey, Tori.
How do you go about recruiting new talent? Do they need to reach out to you?
Yes.
Do you actually find them?
I think the best way it happens is always organically when you're out and about and you're at a place and you hear someone, and then afterwards you're blown away, and then you approach them and you find out what their situation is, and then maybe you write a song together and you say, hey, let's get together at the house. We'll write a song with Clay Mills or Steve Diamond, and then before you know, we're cutting something on it. And that's always the best way. We've also had global talent submissions, people sending their stuff, but 99.9% of the time it is not good.
But there is. Sometimes there's the diamond in the rough. So someone will send us an email and send something in. I mean, look at the kid we're checking out, Saban.
Yeah, Saban Sharp's great.
So,
but
occasionally someone will say, hey, check this out.
That was a friend of mine, Anthony, who like really helped me build my motivational speaking business like 10 years ago, and he said, hey man, I'm in a backyard barbecue out in the middle of nowhere, and there's this kid is killing it, and he's unsigned, and it really has tons of potential. And so we met with him and his father, who's operating as his manager, and we're still in talks about maybe potentially doing something.
But feel free to send us an email and drop us some links, because we're always open to everything.
Benji at 1225 Label Group, BENGY at
J.
BEN. Sorry, I get my G's and J's backwards. I also get my March and my Mays backwards. BENJY at 1225 Label Group, and 1225 is not spelled out. It's just a number 1225. Actually, my girlfriend Kara, she goes, you're so busy with 1225. I said, babe, it's 1225. It's 1225. And now, how did we come up with that name?
You were sitting on one couch, I was sitting on the other couch, and he was throwing out these names like
names.
Two-headed Hydra and hey Mike, how about
yeah. Hey,
we need a name that's just epic.
Epic Records.
Epic.
Oh, sorry, I was thinking.
Yeah.
That's like in the movie when they came up with Xmas.
Yeah.
Xmas. Xmas. Really just, touch on a nerve.
Yeah.
So, we were throwing out names, and I'm like, you know what? Let's just pick numbers. So my other record label is called 12 Records.
And I like the number 25 because I'm born on July 25th.
Yeah, so I picked a number, which was 12. It was kind of a lucky number for me. He picked 25. I'm like, 1225, it is. And he had the laptop open. It's like, register it. Let's do this. And that's
good.
that's what happened.
It's got a ring to it, 1225. 1225.
Looks good on merch.
It does.
Looks cool.
Yeah. A goal.
You got to create a backstory for it.
Well, a goal for us is that we want
So
to.
tired. It was 12:25. We said, let's just go.
Look,
That's right.
12:25. Oh, someone moved it.
12:23.
That's bad. That's bad luck.
That's what's happening. Who did that? Someone's messing with us.
Guys, don't screw with the mojo.
So hopefully that helps you, Tori. Tori, we always appreciate you. Tori is a pal of mine. I always see her up in Connecticut, and she's best pals with one of my great students, Sarah Cardeal. So the real deal, Sarah Cardeal. Guess what, Jim? On the last podcast we did with Sarah Cardeal, Sarah, the real deal Cardeal, she's having that made up into merchandise.
Good for her.
She goes, wow, that's pretty sticky. And I was like, yeah, you're welcome. And so now she's making up merchandise. Sarah, the real deal Cardeal.
Is she going to cut you in?
Huh?
Is she going to cut you in?
No, it's fine. It's just a gift to the universe.
So 12:25. I have an idea.
Yeah.
All right.
Jim McCarthy is speaking right now, you guys. You can't see him, but he's our Andy Richter.
That you won't allow me to be on camera. But anyway.
Why not?
Oh, no.
That's horribly mean, Rich.
No.
Christmas albums. Nothing but Christmas albums.
No, please, no.
I like
That's a bad idea.
I like this voice that just comes from the corner. You know what I mean?
It's like a Saturday Night Live.
No, I like this. I like your role in that.
We got to get him a mic, though, so it's like...
Oh, no, I like that you're on mic, that you're just shouting from the corner of the room. It's really become a thing.
It has.
We're really just going to go with it. What else?
But
Anybody
he
else?
is really sexy.
Yeah.
Anona Milton. No, not the pubes again.
It's going to
Tori
be...
actually put the email up there.
That's great.
A lot of equipment questions, things of that nature.
Oh, yeah, let's do some equipment questions.
Boring.
Come on.
No, but we can talk
I like
about
that
it for
stuff.
sure.
Come on.
Sorry, Luke.
Come on. What's Luke's question? Let's just answer
BAE
it.
Electronics.
Let's see.
What are we doing with the BAE, bud?
Huh?
We're running. Tell everybody what we're doing with BAE.
Many things with the BAE. So we have a 1073 MP, and we're running DI bass through it, DI guitars, snare drum, vocals. Our vocal chain is a 1073 and an LA2A that I call the sex machine. And anything that we can use it for, we do use it for.
That's amazing.
What's your favorite microphone?
Ooh, I have so many. But one of my favorite vocal microphones is a cheap Avantone red mic. I think they used it on the Taylor Swift album, and it sounds amazing on everyone's voice. Yeah, I love it. Sounds great. They're cheap, but you know, U47s are great. No, I mean it's one of my favorite mics, but this thing just seems to be the thing that most people like, even if I put up an expensive Neumann or something.
You know how I found out about what a Telefunken U47 was? I learned it from Joe's Garage, the Zappa record.
See?
Yeah.
Gear Talk. People want to know.
GearTalk.com.
Cloud mics. Oh, yeah, cloud mics. See those 44As? Those are our room mics. Those things sound fantastic. Cloud ribbon mics.
Love it. What's that? That's a new snare drum there, buddy. What is that?
That's someone gave that to me to use. It's an old Tama Superstar snare, I think.
The wood?
Yeah?
We have a Black Beauty down below.
A Tama wood. This is a. We never used this, bud.
No, I just pulled it out of the case today.
Oh, this is great.
We have to use that.
Maybe we'll use it on the Honeymoon Suite record, which
I got a new girl.
That looks like something Kenny would use.
Yeah, the wood grain. Well, Tama, you know.
Let's try it out. Yeah, actually, one of the guys so I'm endorsed by Laney Amps, and the rep for Laney that's out here is a drummer. And I was talking about Tama Superstar snare drums, and one of my favorite snare drums ever was that. He's like, "Oh, I got one in my garage. You want to take it for a while?" And
Nice.
Goes,
You know what's really great is that my buddy Ray, my buddy Ray Garcia, he is one of the top key grips in Hollywood, and like he's worked on every huge film. He did The Revenant with Leo. He's worked with. When I say everyone, I'm talking about everybody in Hollywood. And anyways, drummer. We went to high school together. He had these two gorgeous Sonar rosewood snare drums. Last time I saw him out in LA last month, he gave me the drums on a permanent loan, and John cleaned them up yesterday, and he put a microphone on them, and he recorded them, and they sound amazing. So I'm going to bring them over.
Please bring them. Please bring them.
I'm going to also try to use them on the 9th Aldine record, which is, I don't even know how many things you could try to fit into the week, but I called Mike. I was like, look at Mike, I know we're booked out to produce Honeymoon Suite. They're flying in from another country for 5 days, but not only are we going to be doing that for the week, but I also have to finish recording drums and percussion on Aldine's 9th record. And then this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, we're rehearsing for the year, for our tour. And also this giant medley that we're going to use we're going to be playing at the ACM Awards in Vegas, a 4.5-minute medley, because my boss got the honor of the Artist of the Decade. So I guess the people at the Acmes, the ACMs, think that he has a fun body of work, and so that's a kind of a fun honor, man. So a lot going on. I don't know how many things you can fit into a week, but we're going to try to do it. Plus, this week is also Tin Pan South, and on Tuesday night in Nashville at the Local, I'm going to be backing up Jim Peterick, who wrote Anch, 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 Anch.
Oh.
Eye of the Tiger. He also wrote the Ides of March for I'm Your Vehicle, Baby. And
funny, a lot of people, I thought Survivor wrote that.
No, but it was actually
Survivor was the band.
It was the band, and Jim was the writer. So I'm going to have my djembe out, and I'm going to be backing up a round that includes let's see. Is it Keith Burns, the guitar player from Trick Pony, Jim Peterick, my friend Joey Scott, and then one other individual. So I got to, of course, go home tonight and learn all those songs.
Charting.
Charty. Any other questions, bud?
Do you find it easier to memorize songs, or you like to?
Nope, I cannot memorize any songs because I have a very small brain. There's so much music happening up here that once you learn how to read music, it's so much easier just to have a little chart to look. So the next challenge is now, of course, on tour with Aldine, I don't read charts. But if there's a new single that comes out and I don't have the time in the trenches, like, I'll just get a little 4x6 recipe card and I'll tape it to the bass drum and I'll know.
Little cheat sheet.
And that'll, until I get the time in the trenches with the band where we get that muscle memory together being on the road.
Yeah, after a couple shows, it's like, okay.
Boom. And then I give it to Johnny and he puts it in an archive. And then for some reason we stop playing that song. And then 6 months later we bring it back out. I've got the charts there ready to go. So the next challenge for us is with the Fell record being in the can, then we're going to come into this very room and get into rehearsal mode. And so like Billy Sheen is all about us getting together.
He never reads charts. Never.
He memorizes everything.
So I don't know how his brain must be huge.
So for me, that's going to be that's my goal, is to have all the Fell stuff completely memorized. But I think the only way that happens is literally running it in a dark room by yourself over and over and over, and then getting together with the guys and running it. And then of course the best way is to just get on the road and work it on the road. So that's our next challenge, is to get in this room right here and start rehearsing that 15-song record.
Luke had asked, Luke Matheson. You know Luke?
Yeah. What's up,
How do you
Luke?
go about deciding on the number of toms, cymbals, type of heads, etc. for various projects?
Very nice. So for what I usually do, the majority of the things that I'm working on, I'm using like a 13, 16, 18, so gigantic Bonham style drums. And I have my go-to things. So you have your Remo clear ambassadors on the bottom, and then on the top I have clear emperors. And I use the emperors because they've got a lot of some mid thump, and they last forever because it's a double ply head. I can't really use ambassadors because ambassadors are just a single ply head, and I'll pit the head, and I'll be changing the heads all the time. So then on the snare drum, John Hull, my drum tech, we've been using the P77, the Remo P77, which is really, really fun. But I also use a CS Black Dot or an Emperor X, and that's usually the setup. I mean, even with that extra floor tom, I'm living in the kind of a Ringo vibe setup. Everything is based around the 4-piece. And then if I want to add a set of trash hats, those are over there. Cowbell, maybe some X hats. The extra
we all need
floor
cowbell.
tom. Yeah,
every song needs cowbell.
China, for the big arena things. This year, I'm actually going to go back to an 80s vibe. I'm going to put my China up ridiculously.
Gongs.
No, not double China, just a single China over here. And I'm going to put this device called a spin ball on there, and in between, where you have breaks, shh. You can spin it and it spins
like a mirror globe.
Yeah, and then the lights will catch it, So that should be kind of fun. But over here, this was fun because Mike's got 10, 12, 14, 16. They're almost kind of like fusion sizes, and he's got these drums sounding great. And what he does is he puts these little cotton balls in the drums. And so when you hit the drum, the cotton ball lifts off the bottom head almost like a gate.
It's like with a slow decay. So you get the tone of the drum, and then it just kind of falls back.
Amazing.
And it's
try it.
And it doesn't ring forever, but it rings where you don't hear any gate. It's just like a nice kind of slow decay.
I think you guys need to bring back with the 80s, maybe you can come back, gated reverb.
Oh yeah. We have it on our single. Our new single has some Simmons-ish tom.
All the
I love
tom
that stuff.
So as we're rehearsing for us playing, being more active with the Fell, I'm probably going to be relying on some really cool cutting edge roll-in technology, triggering samples and all that kind of stuff, which is going to be real fun. But Mike is a fan of the Four Toms, and so when I come over here, I kind of just change my mindset. The only thing you have to get used to is that the ride goes a little bit higher instead of being over down here like Ringo. You guys got to fit that tom in there, and then my accuracy, drum to drum accuracy, has to be a little bit better.
And I usually like bigger drums too. This is the first kit that I've used smaller drums. So normally like 24, 26 kick drum.
But that 10
but
sounds
this thing
like a
sounds
12.
huge.
That 10 sounds like a 12. That 12 sounds like a 14. That 14 sounds like a 16. That 16 sounds
and they're
like
tuned lower too, so they sound big.
But it was Luke, as far as like head combinations, you have to experiment. As far as like the sizes of your drums, experiment. The main thing is to just try to find stuff that's appropriate to that style of music, stuff that makes you happy, that fits your playing style, and then just really learn your gear intimately so you know how to quickly tune and get a great sound out of your gear. And it doesn't have to be expensive. You can literally get a Pearl Export, which is a $600 drum set, put fresh heads on it, and if you know what you're doing, it'll sound really good.
What do you listen to, Mike, or absorb on a regular basis to help keep you learning and you kind of
everything? I listen
like a fusion period. Like you have like a lot of fusion.
Yeah, but it's funny because I don't really listen to that stuff. Actually, I hate to listen to fusion, but I love to play it. So I went through a period when I was a kid that was you listen to Dave Weckl and you listen to Chick Corea and all that amazing stuff, and obviously the Vi and Paul Gilberts of the world. But normally I have XM on, and then when I'm in the car, I listen to 40s jazz. That's all I listen to when I'm like stressed out and driving. And then
jazz.
Yeah, like 40s jazz. I have the 40s station on most of the time in the car. And then alternative rock. Yeah, alternative rock stuff, pop. I mean, I want to stay current, so I just listen to everything, kind of everything. Yeah, urban stuff, pop stuff.
Yeah, when we're writing, it's like as soon as we start to reference something, Mike's like, oh, that's this kind of vibe, and boom, he pulls it up off of YouTube or Spotify or his iTunes collection, and it's like, it's deep. It's really deep. Your musical knowledge. I mean, let's face it, there's...
My wife's better, though. She hears a song, she can hear a chord change and go, that's this song. I'm like,
she's good to have in the house. If she hears something, she'll come running up.
Yeah,
she'll be
it's like, nope, you're ripping that shit. But no, everything. I listen to everything.
Yeah, me too.
Podcasts at all? Anybody that?
No, Greg Mara's got a cool podcast.
Greg Morrow?
Mara, Marra, guitar player, friend of mine that interviews a bunch of guitar players and music professionals. I like his thing, but I should be a better podcast guy.
Well, what's funny is that there's the podcasts I'm listening to are this one from NPR called Guy Raz, How I Built This. It's amazing because it's basically the story of every Fortune 500 company and how they started and how they got bootstrapped and the struggles. Yeah, when you're listening to everything from like Starbucks to Chipotle to Lululemon and all the big brands, it's very, very inspiring to see how people pushed through and sometimes took $50 and turned it into $50 million.
Can we do that?
We're trying. We're working on
it.
We're in a very, if you think of all the success we've had in the last year and a half together.
Document versus create.
Pretty incredible. So I'm listening to that, and then of course Jim doesn't get it, but I'm a fan of Mark Maron. Not his curmudgeon-y like approach to life. I mean, he's kind of like a dark observational comedian, but what I like is he's just a really great conversationalist. And the reason we started this podcast 2 years ago, I'm probably coming up on 2 years ago, is I was trying to go for more of like a Seacrest, Mario Lopez, like I'm the host wearing the jacket and you're my guest. And then it's become more and more conversational, and I think that's where
total Mario Lopez
everything is going.
With that tan?
Yeah, I mean, the thing about, Mario Lopez, I can't, I don't know. I don't know if I can get the veneers, man.
Have you met Mario Lopez?
No, I want to. But the funny thing is that the world is
She
so
might be Starstruck.
the world is so small. The other day, I was on stage. I was doing a speaking event for 300 dentists, Burkhart Dental Supply in Austin, Texas. It was an amazing event. It was a 7 a.m. speech, and they were super, super peppy group, fantastic group. And then and there's that awkward time that I have from playing a song and then unplugging my ears, unhooking my thing, and getting back up to the microphone. And a friend of mine told me, he said, just wear a headset mic and that'll cut down on the transition time. You'll immediately have your headset mic on and immediately you can just say, thank you, and begin speaking. I said, here's the deal. I don't want to wear a headset mic. It makes me feel like I'm in the Backstreet Boys. And I said, hopefully I'm not the Joey Fatone character.
Well, that's NSYNC.
Oh, sorry. But it's one of those. And then this girl comes up to me after the speech and she goes, you're so funny. I'm best friends with Joey Fatone. I mean, you just never know. Really? It's so crazy. Any other questions, bud?
Yeah, there's actually one right here. How do you...
Any other questions, bud?
Gordon Wood Batur.
Hey, what's up, Gordon?
He says he was referring to your schedule that you do. How do you manage 7 to 8 gigs with an artist already booked? And the phone ringing for 2 major tours, 25 gig more.
Dude, sounds like you don't need advice. Sounds like you're crushing it, man. What?
Do you manage that? Well, he's asking me, how do you...
Oh.
I think he's talking about your situation.
Oh, I thought he was talking about his schedule. I'm like, damn, dude. I'm going to take lessons with you. So what's the question? How do I manage...
I guess how do you schedule everything?
Oh, God. Well, way out in front. It's like this. You're building a pyramid. It's like, so I'm very fortunate that I get the Aldine tour schedule for the whole year in advance. So I have a PDF schedule, and then I get together with Mike and I say, Mike, we have to book all of our writing and our production stuff around this. We squeeze everything in. And then around that, I'm also squeezing in my motivational speeches, team building events, and then things like writing my books and doing my acting lessons. I squeeze that stuff in somehow. But like writing my books, I mean, it's in a lot of airports. It's like a lot of late nights. So it's just like you have to look at your creative and business pie and go and divide up the percentages. And you got to remember there's 24 hours in the day. And
he doesn't sleep.
And I'm, and I do get my sleep. Last night I got 8 hours. It was incredible. I woke up with a pounding headache, but that's another story altogether. But yeah, man, time management is just so crucial. Maybe get your iCalendar or your Google Calendar and color code everything, and just realize that everything you want to do in life is that's worth doing is going to take effort, man, and it's not going to land in your lap. So, hope that helps.
You ever feel like you're doing too much?
I do, but you and I have talked about that. I'm about to have an emotional breakdown. The thing is that we're given these opportunities are coming to us, so I don't want to say no to opportunities. I mean, it's like so many people are struggling in their creative endeavors in the music business, and we're blessed with all these cool opportunities, and so I don't want to not do them. And I just figure out a way to make it all work. And poor Mike, like this week we were supposed to spend 5 8 to 10 hour days together, and then the whole week filled it up with things that have to happen for me personally, obligation wise, and we just have to work it all out.
It works out though. We have a team. We got Scotty and Benji and
yep.
And I'll just play drums. Screw it.
That's right. Well, the thing is that this is just such a fun creative environment. I mean, your neighbors get really mad because there's always like 20. It looks like a Casa Fiesta. I mean, there's a gigantic party in your house, in front of your house. And
my homeowners has threatened us a million times.
Yeah, his homeowners association are like, look at no more cars parked on the street, and why are people parked on your lawn? It's just there's just always a series of songwriters and artists and musicians over at this place, and it's cool. And your wife is a saint, and you got those 2 beautiful kids running around. And we're always just pounding coffee and just being creative and having a great time.
Well, that's an interesting dichotomy between you two. Family man.
I'm super...
Yeah.
I was about to say I'm super single, but I'm not anymore. Right. I'm actually had a girlfriend for 6 months.
It's going to happen.
I better be invited to the wedding this time.
I don't know about marriage, guys.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen. He says no, but his face says yes. It's like not getting married.
I am so not getting there. Talk about that a little bit, the dichotomy between, he takes a lot of, opportunities. Do you feel like you do the same thing, or that you have to really be selective? Because, there's a hierarchy there for you that you and I understand, for sure.
Well, you also have a massive list of mixes that you have to, for clients that you're behind.
Yeah, so I'm getting caught up, but I kind of take on more than I should too. I mean, you have to these days in music. You have to kind of do everything. You can't just be a songwriter and survive. You can't just be a producer and survive. So I think you have to do everything. So and take what you can get, because you never know when it's going to end, or I could get hit by a car tomorrow and break my arms and not be able to play. So no. Just take everything that you can get, I think, and try to find a way to manage it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, you had said that, when you were spreading your seed in the beginning, Rich, when you got to Nashville, until somebody has got to hit. Okay, and I played the music Nashville Lotto. Is that kind of the same thing? When one thing starts taking off and dominating your time, and it will, what do you do then?
Well, his time is. I think your time is dominated like 95% of being a producer, and then in that 5%, you're trying to build a record company.
Yeah, and the band.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just like Rich, you just find a way to do it. I never sleep though, so that's when I do contracts or social media stuff, or sometimes practice in the middle of the night. But I kind of.
You never know who's going to stop by 1225 Studios. Mr. Troy Laketta is here, 30 years in the band Tesla, and he might even be doing a podcast with us at some point. I think it should happen. I don't know.
Here.
I know.
But I'm certainly not here to crash your gig, or maybe I am.
Yeah, crash it.
I know but so Mr. Troy Laketta is here, and we are probably going to be hanging out. We're going to be talking about the Fell and catching up, because Troy's always riding a bus, or he's always taking the music to the people, and he's been doing it for 30 years, and that's a really, really, really cool thing. And we have great friends in the music business, and his car is parked on the lawn. So Jim will probably wrap it up, huh?
Wrap it up, buddy.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. This was episode 19 of Pick Rich's Brain. My guest was Mr. Mike Krompass. Check us out, The Fell. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Also, 1225 Label Group. Remember, this is where we talk about all things music, motivation, and success. And you can find this podcast on Google Play, iTunes, Stitcher. Of course, my website, richredmond.com, under Media. And the video version of this vodcast can be found on YouTube. We'll see you next time.